Alrighty, Chef Buck here, and today we're going to cook up a delicioso big pot of vegetarian chili, sissy chili, as my dad would call it. But that's alright, I'm man enough to eat some sissy chili, and it just tastes fantastico. First things first, we're going to chop up our vegetables, have a little vegetable chopping montage here. Going to do our garlic up nice and fine, and then a hot pepper, going to cut that up. And that's optional. But not really. It's for Christ's sake, it's chili. Put a hot pepper in there. Then get a large onion, spin that as hard as you can. As you can see, it will chop itself. Amazing. The video evidence right there. And then a couple of bell peppers. I'm using a green bell pepper and an orange bell pepper because I'm thinking about the color scheme. I'm trying to look at this from an artistic perspective. I don't want to use a yellow bell pepper because I got the yellow squash. And I don't want to use a red bell pepper because I got the red tomato. That's why I picked the orange one. Is that too much talk about the bell pepper? Probably. So now I'm cutting up my squash into some nice big chunks. 2 squash, 1 zucchini. Or you can use 2 zucchini, 1 squash, or 2 squash, 2 zucchini, whatever floats your boat. Just a bunch of vegetables. My tomatoes here, they're pretty dinky, so I'm using a lot of those. If you got 2 large tomatoes, just use that. But you want some big cut up chunks of tomato, they're gonna cook down. And then we're gonna add a little cilantro, and I'm trying hard here not to chop off my fingers. You see, am I gonna do it? Look at that, boom. Still got all my fingers. Amazing. And I got some cilantro too. Now we're gonna end up using 4 cans of beans in this recipe. 2 cans of kidney beans and 2 cans of garbanzo beans. I got some black beans, but I'm not gonna add that. You can if you want, but I think they get a little mushy in chili. So I like to stick to the kidney beans and the garbanzo beans. So now that we got everything prepped up, we're gonna go ahead and heat a little bit of olive oil on medium-high heat and go ahead and give our onion and hot pepper and garlic about a 5-minute head start. Let them soften up and start to release all their wonderful flavors, and then we'll go ahead and throw some bell peppers in there to the party and continue stirring, for another few minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and get our spices going, put some chili powder in there, a little bit of cumin, and then some cayenne pepper, and yeah, that will be optional. That can be optional, okay? And then salt to taste, and then we'll just stir away, and then we're gonna put some tomato paste in here. And I'm gonna put half a can of tomato paste, but you can put a whole can if you want. The thing is, you gotta think, the more tomato paste you put in here, the richer and the sweeter the chili's gonna be. So if you like a sweet chili, then put a whole can in here. Sometimes I do that. This time I'm just doing a half, but there ain't no wrong way, but one's gonna be sweeter than the other. Then go ahead and throw your squash and zucchini in there, and then we're gonna put a big heaping tablespoon of dried oregano, rub that between your hands, start to release those flavors, get that in there, stir it around, and then we're gonna add our beans, our big colorful pan of beans, a lot of beans, but chili's all about the beans, like I said, 4 cans. And now our tomatoes, nice big chopped up chunks of tomatoes, mix that all together, and then we're gonna put in 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomato, and then that's pretty much it for all of our ingredients. But it's not wet enough, so we're gonna have to add some water, to cook it through. And you wanna be careful adding the water in here because you don't want it to get too wet. So I'm using the 28-ounce can, putting it in there half a can at a time, so I poured half a can, still need some more, so I'm pretty much putting the whole can in there. But I'm doing it slowly because I don't want to put so much in there, and add too much water. Because you want it to look kind of like this, which doesn't look wet enough. But the thing is, once it starts to cook through, because we're going to raise the temperature up, we're going to cover it and bring it to a bubble, to a boil, and at that point, all these vegetables are going to start to release a lot of water. So it's going to get wetter. So you don't want to add too much in there to begin with. So reduce the heat down to low, put your cilantro in there, stir it up, and then we're going to go ahead and cover it up again and let it simmer away for about 45 minutes. And that's it, man. You got some vegetarian chili, and it'll thicken up, when you get it off the heat, but that's about the consistency you want it right there. And I'm not even going to eat this today. I'm eating it tomorrow because I'm making it a day and ahead. Because with chili, soup, spaghetti sauce, if you can plan a little bit ahead, man, it's going to taste, more delicious as the days go by. And I'm serving it up with a little bit of cheese. I wish I had some Fritos, man. I started to buy some Fritos, but I forgot. But that's all right. It's still going to be awesome without it. But Fritos, cheese, sour cream, all that mess. A big old chunk of bread. You know, it's really good stuff. So give it a try and let me know what you think. And bon appetit. And look at the other stuff in the playlist. And I don't know why I'm still talking.
Amazing!